Hello, it's Karen here. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be painting these really fun little watercolours, but we're going to be concentrating on using white space and how it can change your painting. So this is a few that I've done just to show you just very quickly what colours that I've used. We're also going to be just limiting the palette down so we won't get bogged down with introducing too many colours. It'll be a lot easier to work with. So this is what we're going to be painting. So let's get started. I hope you've all had a good week. Weather's been a bit hit and miss really here. Now the ones that I showed you earlier, this is on an A6 size watercolour paper which I've cut down, but I'm going to be using half of that, which gives me, so it's half A6 size watercolour paper just cut down, because I want some labels, some tags, because these are I'm going to make these into cards, so I'd like some tags to go with them. So anyway, this is what we're going to be painting. So you can decide which side of your watercolour paper that you want to paint on, whether it's whether you use cold press or hot press. I use cold press paper. So today I'm going to be using my size 4 Japanese watercolour brush, and I think I'll start with the green one first. Now I've mixed up kind of a puddle of paint already on my tin, on my tray. So whichever green you have, if you've got a lightish kind of, or a mid green really, I've got forest green, and I've just put a little touch of cerulean blue. Okay, just a little. Did I say I was going to paint the pink one? No, I'm not. I'm going to be painting this in green, the green tones. Sorry about that, folks. Now all I'm doing is just swiping my brush down, letting the hairs on the brush splay out. Okay, and we want some light tones, so I'm just putting these really nice marks in. Now as I said, we're going to be looking at white space, so I've left a slight gap. Let me just show you. I've left a gap here just with a little bit of white space, because white space is really important in this painting style that we're going to be doing. Now going straight into the pan, loading my brush up and just taking the excess off, and I'm just going to be doing, let's put one here, splaying out just wherever you think, yeah, I quite like something there. So we've kind of, well, we've broken our paper down, and we're just going to be introducing elements now into, again, I'm just cleaning up my tin, but this is forest green, and I'm just going to do a leaf shape, and like so, and then just fill that in. So we're just making sure that we don't go into too much of, we're leaving our white space. Now I'm just going to go into orange, and you can add a little bit of pink to it. It will give you a really nice blush colour, and we're just going to do a freehand circle. Now into cerulean again, straight from the pan, and then we're just dropping in some petal shapes. They don't have to be uniformed and identical. I'm just going to turn my work around. They just have to be petal shapes. Okay. Let your brush run out. Let your brush run out of paint. Just going to lengthen that a bit. If you want to use your pencil to mark this out, your flowers, they're kind of daisy shape really. And I'm just letting all the paint run out on my brush. Okay. Now let's back into the blush colour, and I think I'm just going to put a little one in here, and let's put a little one right at the corner here. I want to use up right to the edges of the paper. Again, going into cerulean, just going to grab a bit of that off my tray, and again there was a touch of green in this one off of my tray, but I'm not worried about that. But just make sure that you, turn my work around, that you do leave the white space between each petal. That's really important. Okay. And back into cerulean, and just go off the page, sorry, off the paper. I think it's a good idea to use all your paint off your brush. You get really nice values then. It's not all one hue of paint. Okay. Now, in between, I think I'm going to go into, this one is phthalo green. If you don't have phthalo green, you can just keep to your forest green, your green base, and then add a little bit of cerulean blue. And we're just going to go, just fill these in between, just in between each flower. Okay, just working round. Now I have gone quite close to that flower, but I'm not worrying about that too much. It's absolutely fine. Now I'm just going to go back in, turn my work round, and I'm just going to put these. So really we're alternating from blue to green. There are two colours that we're using, but and if you mix the two together, you get a really nice phthalo green. If you want to bring that out a bit more, absolutely. But we want to keep that that white space. Okay, let's go round, and now we're going to put in some more lovely leaf shapes, and we're just popping those in, making sure that we do leave the white space between what we've done. I'm going to turn my work round. And just let the paint run out on your brush, and then you can load it up again. If you use a creamier consistency of paint, you do get a more deeper colour. Now my brush is loaded up with the green, and I'm just going to push again down, and I'm going to turn my work round, and I'm just going to put another line in there, and this line here we're just going to, sorry, am I making you dizzy? We're just going to just do another line, spreading our brush out. Okay, like so. And as you can see, we're building up now, and let's put another line in here, and then very carefully make sure we keep that really nice white space in between. I'm going to swizzle you around, and I'm just going to put another. I quite like the paler lines, because it does give some nice depth and contrast. Again, just going to go down here. Went far too close, touched, but don't worry about that. Just carry on. If you do go too close, just leave it. Don't abandon your work, because it'll be absolutely fine. Now what I'm going to do is, with a damp brush, I'm just going to take out that edge and just wipe it away. Okay, and then we've brought it back, but don't get worried and think, oh, I've ruined it, because you haven't. Right, let's go back into cerulean. Now I'm loading my brush up because I want quite a good coverage. This is a creamier consistency of paint. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do another arc shape in there. I'm going to turn you around, and here I'm just going to very carefully start filling in the smaller spaces that we're working into. So I'm just filling in now the negative space. I'm going to go down a little bit and just arc that round, just so it fills in that negative space, that empty space that we had. And again, just going to fill in that space. You may come back into that and join it up, or you may but just get these spaces filled up. Just going to grab a little bit of that forest green, just to change it up ever so slightly. I'm just going to put another line in there. Okay, we're just making marks and having fun, but if you break this down, it's easier to manage, and you won't feel so overwhelmed. Now I'm just gonna turn that round, and I'm going off the page again. Just going to put a leaf shape in there, and I'm going to put a leaf shape in there. Just have a look at your work and see where you think, oh yeah, I could put something in there. I'm going to put a little leaf in here, right to the end of your paper. And I'm just going to put a really nice little mark in there. Just going to grab that there. Let's go into forest green. Got my puddle of paint already mixed, so that's great. I'm just going to turning you around quite a lot, so hopefully you can see there is a nice line here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that. You can break your lines up, that's absolutely fine to do that, and just keep working your way around. Bring that out a little bit more. If you want that to go a little bit closer to your original leaf, absolutely you can do that. Let's put right, just turn you around again. And it's really just filling in. Hopefully you can see. It's just filling in these little negative spaces that you've got. So I see a little space there, so let's put a nice shape in there. Doesn't have to be a square or a circle or a leaf shape. It can just be a nice happy abstract shape. I think I'm just going to pop. As you know, guys, I don't have the steadiest of hands, but believe it or not, it is easier to work on the bigger size pieces of paper, your watercolor paper. It's much easier, and I'm trying not to put my hand in what I've already painted, but when you're painting, I urge you to let your layers in between to dry. Okay. And just just a little bit of forest green here. Just going to push my finger in there. Let's pop a little bit of if you think I don't really like what I've put down there, again, you can take it out. Got slightly too close to that. And put my finger in that one. So I'm just going to set that one aside, and then we'll do a pink one, shall we? This is cerise pink, really nice bold colour. So it's using the side of my brush on this one, on this sweeping motion, because I wanted to get a thicker side to my brush. And then I'm going to use the tip of my brush here and just break down the paper. If you prefer to work with a more straighter line, absolutely you can do that. Just going in to purple, I'm just going to mix a little bit of the cerise pink, and I'm just going to paint another line. If it goes wibbly, don't worry about that. Absolutely don't worry about that. Just keep going. Right to the end of the paper. And just keep, oh, I've gone into the blue, sorry about that. And then you don't have to put the flowers in if you choose not to. You can just do leaf shapes if that's what you prefer, but I think it does look quite sweet with the flowers. And I'm going to put let's put one there, maybe one right up in the corner here. Back into purple, and again these lovely petal shapes. If you come up to a line that you've already put, just keep it short of the line to reveal the white space. Okay. Now I'm going to make that more of a cerise pink. Quite, oh, just got a wasp come in. So if you see me jump, it's the wasp. I unfortunately have a nasty reaction to wasp stings and bee stings, so I might I might abandon you for a minute or two. Okay. Now I'm going to go into purple, but I'm going to make it a stronger. Maybe just grab a little bit of cerulean and just to give it more of a darker purple. Right to the end of the paper. Not forgetting, leave that white space in. If you're worried about getting too close, as I did, then leave bigger white spaces between your leaves and things. Now that's a huge bit of negative space there, but I'm just going to fill that in because I really like this dark colour. Okay. And the white space just gives it another dimension, and it really makes that your paint sing. They really do stand out and sing against each other, which is lovely. Again, I'm just going to put another petal in here. As you can see on this one, I've left the white space in because I don't want to get too close. Again on this one. Oh, got too close. I'll sort that out in a moment. But actually, does it matter? No, it doesn't, does it? It really doesn't matter. Let's go into cerise pink. I'm going to turn the work around, and I'm just going to and then just keep following your work round. That was going to be a leaf, but because a leaf shape, but because the petal's there, I've taken it up alongside the petal, but mindful of my white space. So straight into the pan. Just take the excess off. Okay. Let's put some leaves in. in here, and then fill in. Again, I've come close to that, to the line that I've already already put down. So I've just rounded that off a little bit. Just going to, again, just filling in that negative space. Just put a touch of cerulean in there just to darken that down. Oh, it's quite a lot. Just turn it around a touch. Now, there are a few places where I have touched, and the paint has migrated and mixed with each other. But because you're limiting your palette, it's more forgiving, so you don't have that added bonus of thinking, oh great, I've just made mud. Because they're in the same, they complement each other. You can get away with it, really, and it gives us a little bit of wiggle room, which is always great. Let's do another little leaf in there. Let's try and squeeze one in there. Now, if you don't have a Japanese watercolor brush, the same as I have, but you if you look in your paint box, if you get the smallest as you dare, not the very tiny ones, but the ones that when you dip it into the water and you just pull it, it gives you a nice, it tapers into a nice point, then that would be great. And it's filling in nicely now. But when you paint yours, if you do let it sit and dry, that will be so much better. But it's not too bad because mine's drying, but not to the speed that I want it to. Okay, and just have a little look and think, have I left any spaces? Do I want to put anything else in there? Yep, I'm just going to put another little mark in there just to fill this space up. Just going to take that. Yeah, I think we're done on this one. She says. But do have a look. Have a, don't think, oh, it's a race and I've got to get it done so quickly. No, you haven't. You really haven't. If you have a couple working alongside each other, then that'll give you your drying space, which will be lovely. I'm just gonna fill that little space here. And there you go. Just move my paints out of the way, and that one's quite nice and dry now. So there we have it, our two little gift tags. So there's that one, and there's that one still wet. Now if I bring back the card where they're destined to go, hopefully that'll give you a better idea. So cards and tags. Well, I hope you give it a go. It is fun to do, and they make just a different kind of little card for you to send to your family and friends. But I'll say goodbye and take care, and see you again real soon. Take care. Bye.